The boys are back in town for round one of the premiership battle. Balmain coach Alan Jones hopes 1993 will be third time lucky. Can he repeat in rugby league the success he enjoyed in Union in the 80s? Last year, the Tigers were a fast and exciting, but ultimately unsuccessful team. Now, with the loss of the experienced Steve Roach and Gary Jack, the young bloods will have to stand up for themselves. Signed from Penrith, the dynamic Mark Geyer. Big things are expected of MG, who with new captain Paul Sirenen puts tall timber in the second row. And now at fullback, Tim Brasher should add real thrust to the backline after his performance in the World Cup final for Australia. The Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs under coach Chris Anderson come to Leichhardt after a promising but inconsistent 92. During the off-season they've been buying up big, but none bigger than Martin Bella, the powerhouse bulldozer from Manly, who's expected to graft the hard yards up the middle. Kiwi international Jared McCracken is raring to go in the centres, and with Penrith's Luke Goodwin and West's Jim Dimmock, it's up to inspirational captain Terry Lamb to pull it all together and get the Dogs barking all the way to the semi-finals. Good look here at Canterbury and Balmain, but let's take a look at the prospects for all of the clubs for this season. Few of the clubs have bought proven top-class buys, and most of them are going to rely on young talent to improve this season. Now, if we go through them as they finished in 1992, this is the way I see them stacking up. The Broncos begin their premiership defence with virtually the same established players. With competition for places hot, they'll be hungry again. Alan Langer and Glenn Lazarus are the keys in what shapes up as the team to catch. Last year's grand finalists St George have lost some very good, experienced backs, but have retained a strong lineup. There's every reason to think they'll go well again, but no reason to think they'll go better. Illawarra has lost some depth, but has gained Australian second rower Bob Lindner. Much will depend on whether Ian Russell overcomes his severe hamstring injury. Russell's attack adds the icing to a solid team with an excellent home ground record. Newcastle has retained its formidable squad, losing Ashley Gordon but signing Jason Martin. The likes of Matthew Rodwell and Brad Godden should be even better players, and the Knights' guaranteed wins at home will be right up there. West's playing strength appears to be marginally reduced. Of more concern is a doubt whether the Magpies have the potential to improve, but with Terry Hill firing, they'll still be a tough nut to crack. East's front-runners for much of the past two seasons will be hoping the arrival of Martin Afire will improve their finish to this season. They'll still be overly dependent on Gary Freeman, but hooker Wayne Marshall, back from injury, will be handy. Manly have lost several classy players, including Michael O'Connor, and a last-minute change of coach in Bob Fulton for the unwell Graham Lowe may be unsettling. With Jeff Tooby out injured, the Sea Eagles are one club who look fragile. Penrith has had a major shake-up, which may be a good thing after last year's traumas. They'll field some very talented players. The form of Greg Alexander will largely determine whether they make the semis or just miss out. Norths under new coach Peter Louis will have a fresh spirit and more attacking attitude. They'll be a danger, but it'll take a fit and confident Peter Jackson for the Bears to make the five. Canberra finished 12th last year with a poor defensive record. In 93, they're hoping Kiwi forwards John Lomax and Quentin Pongia will strengthen their forwards, and their star backs will stay free of injury. The representative season will deplete the Raiders, but they should scrape into the five and then give the grand final a shake. With so many young players, Cronulla may improve, but it's hard to see them being a major force. Souths may pick up in defence, but will their exciting attack be as sharp without Craig Coleman to organise? With a major doubt over Brett Kenny, the Eels look destined to remain in the basement. Finally, the Gold Coast, with Wally Lewis now off the field, will be competitive but not threaten the top five. So, after that brief look, here's my long-range top five. Brisbane to chase another minor premiership, Newcastle to be hot on their heels, St George to be up there again, Canberra and Illawarra. East's Penrith and Canterbury should be in the race till the last round, and I wouldn't discount West, Balmain or Norths. The remaining five will win their share of games, but it's hard to see them being there when the whips are cracking. There's a lot of football between now and the semi-finals, but Arthur, I guess you disagree with my predictions on the Sharks' future.
We're pretty confident we're going to do something this year. There's no doubt you're right with the Broncos. They're the yardstick for everyone.